Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Mitesh Borad from Mayo Clinic and chair of the International Cholangiocarcinoma Research Network. It's a great pleasure to be with everyone virtually. Hopefully, it will be live next time. I was asked to present an overview of the activities of the International Cholangiocarcinoma Research Network. And on behalf of all of my colleagues, it's a great honor to be able to do that today. ICRN has international membership. As you can see, it's across many continents, North America, Asia, and Europe in particular. While a lot of the members are medical oncologists, it is very much a multidisciplinary group with representation from radiation oncology, surgical oncology, gastroenterology, and hepatology, interventional radiology, and increasingly basic scientists. I'd like to talk a little bit about the initiatives over the last 12 months and what we have planned beyond. I'll go over some of the ongoing projects. Industry interactions are a very significant part of our activities, and we can already see some of the fruits of these collaborations with the first set of drugs becoming FDA approved for the disease. We've launched a translational science seminar series on a monthly basis and had experts from all over the world give talks that are recorded and available to anyone to view to gain deeper understanding of how we can tackle the problems that lie ahead. We felt it would be important for the community to know about researchers, and we've launched a Meet the Expert program to have some candid interviews of some of the folks who devote so much of their time and energy to helping find cures, early detection, and other critical things for cholangiocarcinoma. One of our partners that has emerged over the last few years are our colleagues at ENSCA in Europe. And we'll talk a bit about the ENSCA and COST partnership. Training the next generation of researchers is very critical, and the mentorship program from that standpoint is something that we will be launching, and proud to have our volunteer faculty and eager new faculty who will be joining, and hopefully this will be a success over the years. We have an annual conference that we host in the Asia Pacific region. Last year we couldn't because of COVID, but we're going to get back on track this year. And I'll talk a little bit about resource mapping in terms of what resources are available to the wider community at large. So here are some of the projects that ICRN has been engaged in. You can see that it ranges from natural history of the disease to development of organoids to projects that look at outcomes such as effects of radiation therapy in different regions of the country, and some of the more exciting arenas as well, such as immunotherapy, where we have seen activity of therapies, but just not quite enough to get it across the finish line in terms of standard use. And you can see that a wide range of investigators have been involved in these activities, and very much team efforts in most cases. We have had the honor and privilege to collaborate with a lot of like-minded entities on the industry side, and this ranges from companies that work on outcomes and big data, such as Citizen and Komodo, as well as companies involved in development of model systems that had been in short supply for studying this disease, such as Sengen, and governmental groups such as PDMR through the NIH to be able to help make this a reality. So we're again very honored and privileged to be able to work with all of these amazing groups, and thank them for their collaborative spirit. As I mentioned before, partnership with industry is very critical. It has been heartwarming to see that finally there is significant investment from the biopharma industry to develop therapies specifically in cholangiocarcinoma. As you see from the supporters, and of course do visit their exhibit booths and thank them as well. There is a lot of industry on the biopharma side, and we are beginning to see the fruits of the labor in this arena, with the first drugs already being approved for cholangiocarcinoma, and I feel there will be many more to come in the next few years in quick succession. A few activities in this arena would be presentations at our forums, advisory boards to drill down into the critical questions and how to best tackle them, and just broader engagement with this network, as I mentioned. The translational seminar series was launched last year, and it has a loyal and robust attendance. We hope that through further recognition of this series through the audience today, that even more people will dial in virtually monthly. And of course, if you can't, these are always recorded and available for you to view later. Again, as I said, there have been just fantastic speakers, often describing their life's work in a particular area and how it can help cholangiocarcinoma. And as we said, this is really translational, so we're hoping for patient impact at the end of the day with any of their efforts. I talked a bit about the Meet the Experts program. Again, it would be great if folks could go to the ICRN webpage and read about the candid interviews that comprise this Meet the Experts program. You'll get to know not only what people are doing professionally, but you'll also get a flavor on what drives them every day to get up and make sure that we make cholangiocarcinoma history and be celebrating sort of cholangiocarcinoma history in our meetings instead of what lies ahead one day. Our partners in Europe, ENSCA, the European Network for the Study of Cholangiocarcinoma, have been a dynamic group to work with. We find it hard sometimes to keep up with them, but we felt that a partnership with them in many ways would be in the best interest, not just for ICRN, but for the cholangiocarcinoma research and patient community. So we've linked up as many of our efforts to them as we can with regards to the seminar series, mentorship programs, short-term scientific mission, resources available, and doing joint studies combining our data across the Atlantic for natural history evaluations. The mentorship program will be launched this year, as I mentioned. Currently, the programs at ENSCA and ICRN are a little different. Ours is a little longer and project-based, whereas the ENSCA program is a 6-month program and is more centered just on mentor-mentee guidance. I think we'll be able to merge these in some way to really have a unified mentorship program that we can roll out to people anywhere in the world to participate in. Resources are critical for researchers. Thankfully, through the generosity of researchers in this community, cell lines, organoids, animal models, and other resources have been made available and are now in a format that can be distributed quite in a facile manner. We want to make it even easier. Anybody who suddenly develops an interest in cholangiocarcinoma should just be able to go to the ICRN page and see very quickly all the resources that are available and get access to them. We would like to create a membership directory where people will hopefully create profiles, and this will be a way for people to network with each other and look up common interests. As this community grows, it will be necessary for folks to be able to connect in a seamless manner beyond the small community we have today. So we're laying the groundwork for this, as you can see. ICRN has had the great privilege of being involved in collaborative conferences with our colleagues in the Asia Pacific region. I'd like to thank Dr. Milind Javli in particular for having the vision to set this up during his tenure as chair of the ICRN. And you can see we've had 3 of these in past years, in Thailand for 2 years and in Taiwan in 2019. Due to the pandemic last year, which would have been right around this time, we had to cancel, unfortunately, but we're right back on track this year and look forward to engaging with our Japanese colleagues for a successful meeting. Unfortunately, it will be virtual this year, but we plan to be shoulder to shoulder next year in Japan. Dr. Azad and myself and the entire research network are always at your service. If we can help in any way, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We are simply representing the very dedicated, hardworking, and selfless community, which is working every day for the sake of patients. And this community is a little different than many others in that patients are actively engaged as part of ICRN. Our advocates keep us honest and to the task. So we want to thank them in particular, and we want to remind patients that we have only one mission in mind, which is to help you. So I'll stop there, and thank you so much for having me here at the conference this year. It's indeed been an honor.